And welcome on in to another episode of Getting Wild with Terry and Friends, Baseball Edition. I guess I'll start with there is no NHL show today. When
It's
I
the marquee matchup of the year, though.
when I saw that it was Philadelphia against Chicago, I made the tough decision that I would be canceling the show. Yes.
What's your bet for it?
I'm not giving out a best bet in a game like that when I'm not going anywhere near it. So NHL schedulers, you guys are to blame for no Getting Wild with Terry and Friends hockey show today.
Oh,
but we have 7 baseball games here, and we're going to jump right into the first one here that starts around 6:10 Eastern. The Giants plus 168 and long are in Milwaukee facing Burns minus 200, a total of 7 in this one. The Giants are pretty big dogs here in this spot. Burns, obviously, a very good pitcher. Long, not really a lot of numbers on him this year, anyways. I think there's value here with the Giants. I took the Giants plus 1.5 and also a small sprinkle on the money line. I just think these teams are a bit more even than the price shows. The Giants are playing really well. I think they've won 7 in a row. They're 7-3 or 7-2 in the year.
Their last 10. They just swept the Nationals.
Yeah, so they've been playing very well. So is Milwaukee. I think it's going to be a close game, but I think there's value on San Francisco. So because I think it's going to be a close game, San Francisco plus 1.5. I like that, and I also sprinkled the money line. Nick, Giants and Brewers. What do you think here?
Yeah, I went to a similar path there. Yeah, obviously Corbin Burns, you're going to get the Corbin Burns price tag with him. That's why they're minus 200 at home here against a very good Giants team. I just don't know if I trust the offense of the Brewers to be able to put up enough runs to really make this price tag worth it. And that's exactly where I was going with this game here. I went with the Giants in the first 5 innings here against Corbin Burns at plus 150. I also took a couple player props. I'll let Occupancy mention one because I know he went through the troubles to message our book to get his props on the book. So I'm not going to throw that name out there. I'll let Occupancy do that one there. But I also did a lot of over 1.5 total base props for today. And Wilmer Flores at minus 120 made that list. He's been pretty decent this year. So I'm going to look at him a little bit for props. And I have the Giants in the first 5.
All right. I like it. Tim, Giants and Brewers, any thoughts here?
Yeah, this is definitely a lean towards the Giants. This is a really weird scheduling spot. The Giants will get a day off tomorrow, and the Brewers will be in Pittsburgh. It's a one-game thing. I guess with the late schedule, and they just had to sneak a game in, so it's a very weird spot. I just don't know. I know that the San Francisco bullpen has been quite solid this year. They're, I believe, number 1 in bullpen ERA. So, yep, number 1 in bullpen ERA at 1.71. So they've been pitching pretty solid. And this is why you're going to get most of this game is a pitching type deal with the Giants. And Corbin Burns should be able to go for a little bit. But if you lean towards an under, lean towards the Giants. I didn't get involved because this is a weird scheduling spot.
All right. Occupancy, Giants and Brewers. Any thoughts here?
Yeah, hey Terry, thanks for having me on the show. Make sure you like and subscribe. Couldn't be here without everyone watching the show, and I love talking baseball and ready to get these units today. Yeah, it was said before, the Brewers offense, it's a little worrisome. They're actually 27th in the league right now in hits for. I know it's early at the gate, but that's a red flag here. The Giants are tied for 7th with a couple other teams right now in hits for. So, to me, it's got to be a lean with the Giants at the plus price. Defensively, both teams are actually on the in the upper half for hits allowed, etc. So, they're. I mean, obviously, it's the Giants here, and traditionally it's like they don't score all too much. Letting up opposing runs. Currently sitting at 42 runs allowed, which is right among the ranks of Dodgers and Cardinals on the Mets. So Giants D's been pretty good. So like you were saying with the scheduling and the road trip, I'm gonna lean with the Giants. And this game is, I'm not going to target it. There's a couple other games on the slate I'm going to target for props more. But I'm looking at Dario Estrada. He was the one Nick was talking about. Who,
Yep.
I asked him to get added. I already bet him on a full unit to get a hit. It's minus 136. He's second in the league, or second on the team right now in hits. I thought it was a pretty good price for just one hit. But yeah, I'd be looking at Flores, Joey Bart. If you could look at him as well, he's been doing good. But some other games on the slate, I think more for props. But this game, I'm gonna try to get to the window with something on the Giants.
All right. Yeah, Estrada is minus 140 on my book. So I may have to look at a hitters parlay and throw him on in there for tonight. Bryant, Giants or Brewers. So what do you think of this one?
Yeah, it's pretty simple for me. I much like you guys said earlier. This is a weird game, just simply on the fact that the Giants are this big of an underdog, all things considered. The way they've looked this season. But with that, I'm going to take it and run with it. I'm big on that. I think we've all spoke about teams like the Dodgers and Astros and some of the other better teams in the MLB in the upper echelon. If you get numbers like this, you kind of figure out an angle to try to back them. And so I think that the Brewers are a good team. I don't think they're a great team. I think Burns is one of the best pitchers in the league, but his offense is not going to do him any favors. Sam Long has only really been used as the opener, reliever type. He's probably only going to pitch max like 2-3 innings, I think, tops, if that. And then they're going to slide it on down to the bullpen for the rest of the day. So that being said, due to how well he's pitched and how well the Giants bullpen has looked, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. I'm not sure that the Giants are just gonna blast Burns, but I do think they'll do enough pitching wise, and they might even scrape across a couple hits, enough to get a couple runs up. And I'm gonna take the Giants on that F5. I'm gonna take them on the puck, or that's the puck line. Excuse me. I'm thinking about hockey on the run line. Plus a half a run. You get good value on it. It's at plus 105. You're getting plus money with one of the better pitching teams in the league, in a game that should be close anyway, just because of the pitching on both sides. I mean, it's pretty much a no-brainer for me. So that's where I'm going to lean. I also would say that I think it's going to be a close game regardless. So if you're unsure about the whole F5 thing and you like the comfort of a full game, getting the Giants at minus 120 for a run and a half for the full game to cover, or obviously, the crazy plus money you get on the money line. I think they're all good. They're all good plays. But I'm going to keep it simple. Go with the F5 run line and still get it at 105 plus 105. So
Nice. All right, we will move on along here to the second game. Colorado is in Philadelphia. Freeland is in Freeland versus Gibson. Plus 164 for the Rockies, minus 196 for the Phillies here. A total 8.5. I've been backing this Rockies team at times this year so far. Not today. I'm staying off this game. I just don't have a good feeling about it. I would lean with the Rockies, but Freeland isn't really somebody I look to back. Gibson, he can be kind of a wild card. Sometimes he can pitch really well, and then other times not. I guess that's most pitchers, but he's a bit of a wild card to me. Not somebody I really like to back, but not somebody I really like to fade either. So this game's a pass for me. Nick, Rockies, Phillies, any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, looking at the two pitchers here, I do favor Kyle Gibson a little bit. And I'm not a huge fan of Kyle Freeland. I end up getting to the over in this game, and I also took the Philadelphia Phillies team total over, expecting them to get to Kyle Freeland a little bit today. And then everybody seeing last night that it was, I think, a 1-0 game with them and the Brewers. And I like both offenses here. I have the Phillies team total over, but actually the only player prop I got from this game was actually CJ Crone from the Colorado side, over 1.5 bases at I believe -109. This guy's been tearing the cover off the ball to start the year. Obviously, I won't talk you off of Nick Castellanos, JT Realmuto, Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber. Any of those four guys, I would look towards maybe putting them, having them with a player prop as well. I may look towards adding them. But yeah, I'm going to go with the Phillies team total over, the full game over, and I have CJ Crone over 1.5 bases.
All right. Tim, Rockies and Phillies?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as Nick. I'm on the over. I see this one being a higher scoring game. We just saw these two teams play, and we saw these two pitchers go up against each other. It was 6-5. Granted, it was in Coors Field, so I guess we could take that, but you're still getting the Philadelphia Phillies, who have the worst bullpen ERA in the league at a 4.57. And then not too far down the list, sixth worst is the Colorado Rockies at 4.27. And even if we get 5 innings each from these starting pitchers who will allow runs, if we can get 2 to 3 runs off of the bullpen in the last couple innings, I believe this one can be a higher scoring game than the one that was in Colorado. So I like the over. It's one of my stronger plays today. So over 8.5 between the Phillies and the Rockies for me.
All right. Yeah, see, I kind of find it funny that Phillies, their bullpen is still so bad. Like, you think they would have learned their lesson by now? Like,
No,
how many years do they need to finish at the bottom of the bullpen rankings before they realize that maybe they should do some improvement with their relief pitchers? I know I make it sound so easy, but come on. Like, how many years in a row do you have to finish?
I mean, they picked up Jerry's Familia from the Mets.
Yeah, that tells you everything you need to know right there.
Because they saw him and went, "Ooh, he looks fantastic."
And then
Yeah,
season top of the year.
I don't know about this Phillies team, but occupancy, Rockies and Phillies. Any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to keep this one simple. Colorado Rockies are 29th in the league in hits allowed. So even though they're boasting a 10-5 record, they're letting up a ton of hits. Phillies aren't so much better right now. They're 20th in the league in hits allowed. Taking a look at the offenses, Phillies are actually tied for 6th right now in hits for. So, and then the Rockies, obviously, in 3rd. So bad defenses, good offenses, runs, leaning towards the over here, full unit play, and then this could be a huge prop game for me. So that's what I got for this one.
All right. So far pass for me, runs for everybody else. Bryant, do you like runs
I'm
in
gonna
this game
buck
as
the
well?
trend. This game has probably been the one that's kept me on edge pretty much the whole day, just thinking about it. I want to hop on the runs trend. I keep trying to find that plus money value that I've found so often with the Rockies so far this year. And the only thing I'm coming up with is I was able to find on my book, you can get the Rockies +1 at -135 for the first 5. But all of that is predicated on like one main thing. And it's pretty much Kyle Freeland not shitting the bed. And so that's I'm asking for a lot of heavy lifting from Kyle Freeland here. And I'm not really sure about it. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on there, but I think the safer bet is to go with the over in some capacity, whether you go with the first 5 or you honestly just go to the full game and you can get into both of these bullpens and just let them do what they do best, and that's give up runs. So like I said, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on the Rockies to keep it close. I like Gibson. He's been pretty profitable to pitch or to back in most other circumstances. But even in the start he had against the Rockies, he wasn't, rock solid. Like there were some moments he looked hittable. And that's kind of where I think that the Rockies can can capitalize on and keep this game close at least to the 5th inning, and then the floodgates can open, and I won't care less. But the safest bet for anyone that thinks that they should tail is definitely to go with the over or hit a team total on either one of these teams. I think both teams probably can score about 6 runs, 7 runs apiece, and so those are my 2 plays for this game. This is going to be chaotic though. It's one way or the other. Like it's either going to be a blowout or we're going to see like 9 runs apiece from these two. I'm not sure, but that's what I've got a feeling on. So
and one more thing, if you're going to bet the over, 100,000,000% bet the over full game.
Yes,
you want those bullpens. Do not bet the first 5 over
Yep.
because you could see a 3-1 game going into the 5th at the end of the 5th, and then the end of the game is like 8-7 or something.
Yep.
Because these bullpens are so bad. So take the full game, not the first 5.
Or if you want to play that angle, you can wait and take it live. You can if there's a couple scoreless innings to start the game, that's relying on Freeland not to give up runs. You can get a live over expecting these bullpens to give up runs.
Yeah, I mean, in the game, the one of the games last week when they played in Coors, for that matter, the game was like 4-3 after like the 5th inning, and the game ended up like 9-7. So that should tell you everything you really need to know about how bad these bullpens are. So, yeah. And obviously, there was no acquisitions made on either side. So they're the same guys, and they have familiarity. So there you go.
However, the one thing is this one's not in Coors.
Yeah.
That's the only difference. Is this one's in
But to be frank, though, the Phillies home ballpark rates is a pretty hitter-friendly ballpark in its own right, too. So
yes,
it's almost like it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, I would much rather bet an over in Philadelphia than an over in Colorado. It's crazy.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
All right. We'll jump right into the next one here. The Red Sox are heading to Toronto. Plus 110 for the Sox and Eovaldi. Minus 130 for the Jays and Berrios. A total of 8 in this one here. The Jays continuing their stretch against, I don't want to say playoff teams, but top-end opponents. They've been facing Boston, Yankees, Houston. I guess Texas could be the outlier there. But the Jays have won every series so far that they played. And now they have a homestand here, and I think that's going to continue. I think they're going to continue winning series. And it starts here with Boston. I think the Jays are a better team than Boston. Berrios is rebounding from his absolutely dreadful first start. I'm on the Jays minus 130. No big surprise here. Until they start losing on a consistent basis, I'm going to continue to back them because I think they're one of the best teams in baseball. So I like Berrios. I know a lot of people don't. For whatever reason, but I like him, and I think he's going to pitch well, and I think the Jays get the win here. So full game, Jays money line, minus 130. Nick, Boston and Toronto, what do you think here?
Yeah, looking at the pitching matchup here, though, looking at the advanced analytics, the Nathan Eovaldi has a better FIP and a better Sierra, much better Sierra, about two lower on the Sierra, which is a pretty massive difference, and these are more that takes out a lot of like the luck factors, and that's actually the skill of the pitching when you look at that when that type of number. So I do think the Red Sox have the starting pitching advantage with Nathan Eovaldi in this matchup here, and they got the bullpen advantage. I think the only thing that's really going against them in this game is they are in Toronto. Other than that, I like both these lineups. And I did have a couple props here with this game as well. I like the Red Sox full game. I got it at plus 113. I think that line's dropped a little bit. And then I also, when it comes to props, I'm on Bogarts and Devers, both over 1.5 total bases, plus 134 for Bogarts, minus 102 for Devers. So I think that the Red Sox should be able to hit Berrios a little bit tonight. And I think the Red Sox come out with the win here, the nice little plus money dog.
Quick question. That Sierra stat obviously includes all 3 games that Berrios has played, right?
Yeah.
Could you tell me what it is for the last two, not including the first one?
I don't
Yeah.
have those numbers, no.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I think the number would be a lot different if you take that first start out. That's my only thought.
I mean, yeah, we can nitpick starts out and numbers will get better.
Well, yeah. Well, if you saw his first start and how absolutely dreadful it was, of course his numbers are going to be bad. But if you take that start out and look at the more recent starts, I think it would be a lot better. Tim, Red Sox, Blue Jays. What do you think here?
Yeah, I think the the Blue Jays are going to be a very good home team, at least for the first little bit of the year, because with the whole Canada vaccine thing, a lot of players are going to be missing from different teams. Like, I'm curious to see what like Houston's going to look like when they go up to Canada, because you don't have to be vaccinated in Texas, and they're probably going to be missing a bunch of players. So the Blue Jays are going to win a lot of home games, kind of by default. But this is going to be one of them. I think the Red Sox are only missing like Tanner Keoik or a couple of players. It's not really a big deal for them. But you've seen this total drop. I could see an under in this game because it's dropped from a 9 to an 8. Barrios has pitched well his last couple of games. Including 1 run and 8 hits in 6 innings against Boston when they won 6-1 against them. Couldn't get my over in that game, but whatever. And then the Red Sox. Last time we saw Nathan Eovaldi pitch was, I believe, against Toronto as well, where he allowed 1 run and 7 hits in 4 2/3 innings. I could see an under in this one. Both these pitchers have kind of bounced back after having really rough starts. So I could see an under, but ultimately I chose to just stay away from this game.
All right. Yankees manager and Houston manager both said that they expect their full lineups when they go.
Really?
Awesome.
So whatever, if that's going to end up being true, that's what they expect.
Well,
so I guess they're forcing their players.
We'll have to see what happens. So
yeah. Occupancy, Red Sox and Blue Jays. What do you think here?
Yeah, Terry. This game pretty even statistically. I can't find any edges really on either side. The Blue Jays has been letting up more hits, but the Blue Jays have been getting more hits. So that kind of cancels out. And then, like you were saying with the Barrios bad start, I think, it looks like Red Sox got the edge on the pitching here for the starter, Eovaldi, but not as much where I'm really trying to go on a full game money line. One attractive price is you could take Boston plus a half, minus 130 in the first 5. That could end up making my card. And other than that, probably not a whole lot for me in this game. Just with them kind of, I think, balancing each other out on the stats that I'm seeing, at least. Nothing huge in this one. So yeah, I'll just move on for me.
All right. Bryant, Red Sox and Blue Jays. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, I like the Jays. Simple and plain. I'm going to go with them on the money line. That offense, man, despite the fact that I'm not really all too sold just yet on Barrios as his complete body of work. He's pitched better than he did that first game was horrible. And I remember being excited for it. I was like, yeah, Jay's going to come out here and hammer these guys. And he couldn't make it out the first inning. So I haven't bet on him these last 2 games because of it. But I'm going back to the well today. I'm going to see what he's got. The Jays are a really solid home team. They hit really well this past weekend against the Astros. Have a pretty solid rotation and bullpen. Eovaldi's hard hit rate is like ridiculously high. I think it's like 52%, which is way higher than it has been over the last few years for him. So when people put contact on the ball, they're hitting it hard and far. And I don't really think that's going to change. I think naturally, just, statistically speaking, he's due for regression in that regard, positive regression. But I don't think it comes tonight. He got away with 8 hits last time and only gave up a run. Eventually, if you're going to keep up giving up that amount of hits on a game-to-game basis against the same team, they're going to get lucky, and some of those are going to end up in the bleachers, or they end up in the gap for doubles and extra base hits that equals more and more runs. So it's really more of just a product of I just trust the Blue Jays offense to get it done more than I trust the Red Sox. JD Martinez isn't playing. He's still a big part of that offense. I think they're missing a couple of other guys, like some backups. Plawecki's not playing because he's unvaccinated. I think Cutter Crawford, who's a bullpen arm for him, he's not going to be playing. It just feels like it's a Jays type of night. So we're going to go with the Jays full game. I got it at -135 on my book, and we'll just run with it, and that's it.
All right. I like it. I think there was something else I was going to add, but I can't remember what it is. So we'll move on to the next. Oh, yeah. So I'm officially on Jay's money line. I also have their money line as a part of a two-teamer. I have two two-teamer parlays, so I will announce those at the end. So we'll jump into the next one here. The Mets, -162, are in St. Louis, +136. It is Scherzer against Mikolas here. Obviously, Scherzer being on the mound is why the Mets are as big of favorites here as they are, why the total is at 7. Mikolas has pitched pretty well, pretty good as well this season. So I'm going to take a stab here with a bet that I do like to place. Mets, St. Louis, first 5 under 3.5, -120. Keep this low scoring. I can see this being like a 2-1 game in the 5th. Obviously, I'd much rather 1-0, so I'm not sweating it out. I don't really love under 3.5s for first 5, but with Scherzer on the mound, Mikolas pitching well as well, you're not going to get a 4.5. So I'm taking the 3.5, -120. Let there not be a lot of runs in the first 5. Nick, Mets and Cardinals, what do you think here?
Yeah, this line's moved a little bit since I bet it last night. I got the Mets money line at -145 in this game. Now it's up to -160, -165 on some books. Obviously, the Mets have the pitching advantage with Max Scherzer, which I saw a stat yesterday where he's gone 22 consecutive starts without recording a loss. Doesn't mean the teams doesn't mean the teams have won all 22 of those starts, but he has either gotten a win or a no decision in 22 straight. And I think that continues into tonight. I'm expecting a little bit of regression here from Mikolas. He does have a 3.55 Sierra, and he has that very nice and pretty 1.76 ERA. That's not going to stay the same. He's not that type of pitcher. He has had a nice start to the season, but I think the Mets are the best lineup he's faced so far. I'm on the Mets money line in that game. And then I do have a few player props from this one, all these over 1.5 bases, with Sterling Marte at +136, Pete Alonso at +136, and then Francisco Lindor at +139. I like this Mets lineup. I do think they can get some runs tonight against Mikolas, and I think they win this game in general. So I got the Mets at -145, and then I got those props as well.
All right. Tim, Mets and Cardinals?
I feel like this line is too small. The total. I feel like the total is too small. I got 6.5 on my book. And Max Scherzer, I understand. Miles Mikolas, I mean, yes, he's pitched fantastic this year. He's allowed 3 earned runs and 13 hits in his 15 1/3 innings pitched. Those were against a Miami team that has no offense, a Milwaukee team that has no offense, and a Pittsburgh team that's borderline AAA. This is 100% the toughest team he's faced. Granted, he gets the luxury of playing at home, which I feel like Busch Field is definitely more of an unders park, but I wanted to go after the over. The only thing that's keeping me away from it is Max Scherzer could easily go out here and pitch a shutout. And it's and if we're getting it over, it would kind of be like, well, are we getting 7 runs from the Mets, 5 runs from the Mets, 2 runs from the Cardinals? Like, I feel like this is a spot where if I'm getting it over, I might as well just go after the Mets. But I didn't touch this game. I'm not going to bet the Mets every single day. If I had to go after it, it's got to be run line or nothing at this point. But I chose to just stay away from this game.
All right. Occupancy, Mets and Cardinals.
Yeah, this matchup, you got the second best defense right now in the Cardinals when it comes to hits allowed, and then you got the first, best offense with the Mets right now in hits for. So it's like a total cancel out there for me. Just looking at that side, and then with the lines, minus 160, plus 134 in my book. I'm not really looking towards a money line here. And everyone bets differently, but I'll be looking towards a nerfy here. I would honestly parlay that probably with the Giants nerfy. You get some plus money there with the way these pitchers are playing. I don't know if they come out to a big start here. So if you were looking for some action, that's kind of how I would look at this. And then when it comes to props, and not even that good of a game, I don't think. I could just see this being a grind out, decent pitching matchup. Scherzer strikeouts could be a look. But I'll post anything I do with like player prop parlays, stuff like that on Twitter. But nothing pregame on the side here for me.
All right. Bryant, Mets and Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see this game. I think it's going to probably be one of the best games to just watch, strictly from a fan standpoint tonight. You got two really good teams, and I think both of these teams are going to be there, around September, October as we get ready to head to the playoffs. But I'm backing Max Scherzer. He's one of my favorite pitchers in the league. He's been that way since he was in Detroit, and then he left. He shoves when he comes to Busch Stadium. Absolutely shoves. He loves pitching there. He's a St. Louis guy. My buddy Jeremy, who's a very big Cardinals fan, shout out to you, Jeremy, if you're watching this. He pointed out that he's 3-1, 3-2 when he pitches at Busch Stadium. But I think his ERA was like sub 3. Strikeouts were on point. He gets hyped to play in his hometown. He's got a lot of family there, I'm sure. And this is no different. And there's a couple other things that I wanted to point out that I think also matter when we're talking about this matchup, and why I'm going to go with the Mets in this game. The Mets are really good against right-handed pitching, while St. Louis is typically generally better against lefties, and they have struggled against righties. So against right-handed pitchers this year, I've got the Cardinals rank 17th in weighted on base average, whereas against right-handed pitchers, the Mets rank 5th. So there's a clear discrepancy in how the Cardinals and the Mets look when facing right-handed pitching. It's taken into account also. I'm not really as high on Miles Mikolas as some of these some of the books are. There's no reason that this game should really be that close in terms of where the lines are lying at. He's giving you 3 starts. It's a 162 game season. He didn't look good at all last year. And much like Tim said, he's pitched against probably like 3 of the worst offensive teams you could probably find in the league. So give me the Mets, and they're 4 300 hitters that they've got already. They're lefties. They switch. They're switch hitters. That's just matchups. They're matchup nightmares right there for you alone. I'm going to take them. I'm going to take them on the money line, and I'm going to parlay it with the Dodgers as well. And I'll probably just go ahead and get them F5 for a little bit more value on the run line as well. So I'm all in the Mets today. And let's go Mad Max.
It's funny you mentioned that. Mets Dodgers parlay is I already have that bet. That's the only thing I have this game. Oh, I have the under 3.5 first 5. And then my parlay is Mets and Dodgers. My other parlay, Toronto and Dodgers.
Yeah, to that point, speaking you said about the under, I have no bone in my body as a bettor that will ever allow me to bet over 6.5 for professional baseball players. That just seems ridiculously low. Like I can't fathom it, especially when one of the pitchers isn't even remotely close. I don't think in terms of talent to Max Scherzer. If this was the playoffs in October and we were in New York and you said that, the opposite pitcher was like Walker Bueller or Burns or something like that, I can see that. But we're in April and we're getting over 6. There's a 6.5 line, and one of the pitchers is nowhere close to the other, who's a Hall of Famer, generational pitcher at that. It just doesn't make any sense. So I would stay far away from that full game total.
What about my first 5? Do you think it's
the first 5? I think is fine.
Yeah.
You might sweat it out if
it's at under 3.5, and you're going to sweat it out regardless.
100%, because one run and you're a bloop and a blast away from already hitting 3.
Yep.
Well, I'm hoping for a classic Scherzer performance where maybe less than nothing.
I'm not worried about Scherzer. I'm worried about Michaelis.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yes, I know, but I don't like the Mets. Like 3 runs.
As crazy as this sounds, I kind of want to see what this would be. You can get plus 115 for this. I would look more towards a Yerfie in this game than a Nerfie, and I'm not that type of guy. Yes. But this has one of those where it's going to be 1-0 at the end of the first, written all over it.
Someone's going to hit one out. I don't know who it is.
The Mets have been killing Nerfies lately. The Mets kill Nerfies. A little warning there for people who do like the Nerfie in the Mets game.
Someone's going to be jittery and toss a meatball, and it's going to get put in the seats. And then we're going to walk away, like you said, at the end of the first. It's going to be 1-0. And we're going to be looking like, okay.
Lindor solo shot, first inning.
Hey, as long as it's a solo shot and that's all that happens, I'm fine with that. But we'll move on along to the next one. The Battle of Texas. The Astros and the Rangers here. Pitchers is Valdez and Dunning in this one. Obviously, a pitching advantage here with Houston, lineup advantage here with Houston, but Houston's not playing very well at the moment. So I'm staying off this one. There's zero chance that I back Dunning or the Rangers right now in this spot. But I'm not taking Houston with how they're playing as well. So this one is a pass for me. You don't have to bet every game, and I will not be betting this one. Nick? Astros and Rangers. What do you think here?
For me, this is a lean probably if because we do have a playoff on the side in this game. I would lean towards an over in this game if I had to get to a spot in this one. I don't trust particularly both these pitchers. Dane Dunning has a 3.76 Sierra and a 3.95 for Valdez. Both these pitchers ERA above 4. Whips are a little high. They both walk a lot of batters as well. But yeah. I would lean towards an over in this game, and we have a play on the side that I can't give out. But, yeah, I would be leaning towards an over.
All right. Tim?
Yeah, this is our best bet, so I'm not really going to dig too deep into it. Both these pitchers have gotten hit lately. Both these teams have not looked particularly good either, so it probably lean towards an over. But, yeah, our best bet's on a side in this game, so nothing in this one for me.
All right. If you want to find their best bet, it's on Picks and Parlays .net, right? .net.
Do Earl Sports Bet.
Yes, Earl Sports Bet.
That makes it more money, yeah.
I totally forgot. Yes, Earl Sports Bet or earlsportsbets.net. Occupancy, Astros Rangers. What do you think here?
Yeah, I'm looking to back Houston somehow tonight. Just taking a look at the pitchers. Not the best stats in terms of ERA and WHIP. But Valdez has got a little bit of an edge here. So I just want to go with a better pitcher. A stat that kind of jumped off the page to me is the Rangers are 5th worst in the league in defensive efficiency. They've been letting up a ton of hits and a ton of runs. But it's not like Houston is really that great right now with the bats. They're way below league average for hits and runs right now. And that's just probably not where they want to be. 7-8 to start the season with that kind of lineup. But it's kind of one of those things where if you think Houston's going to be a good team, over the course of a long season, maybe it's a buy low. So I'm gonna be looking at the Houston money line, even the run line. Those are some decent prices. You could go for singles or throw it in a parlay. And then I'll be targeting some Houston batters. Then I got a couple angles on last pitch for some people.
All right. Bryant, Astros and Raiders. What do you think here?
Yeah, I'm going with the Astros. Get minus 135 is what I got when I placed my bets for this. I think that's a very good value, all things considered. Look, it's pretty simple. Despite the Rangers spending almost $600 million this offseason, they're 5-10 because they didn't address pitching. Their Rangers are ranked last in AL in runs allowed, ERA, pretty close in hits. They're just it's just really, 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 really bad. And they already have despite the offensive additions, they have a -7 run differential at this point in the season. They're also last in ERA or in the AL in home runs and walks, and 13th in hits allowed. Come on now, we have the Astros here with their bats. Yes, there's no Altuve. They don't have Correa anymore. He's in Minnesota, but they still have
Altuve.
Huh?
They have Altuve, or wait, is he out?
He's out. He's injured still. Yeah. So he hamstring injury. But anyway, Jeremy Pena is he hit the walk-off against the Jays yesterday. He's been batting leadoff for him in the meantime. He's a good young talent. I still like their offense better. And then there's the flip side. We look at the pitchers. Dane Dunning is a pretty promising young guy. But Framber Valdez has a nasty curveball. It's his pitch that he relies on it the most. But it plays much better against left-handed bats. And last time I checked, most of the lineup that the Rangers are going to put out there today, especially the names that you would expect to do some damage, they're left-handed bats. So I'm going to take the Astros here to dispatch of the Rangers at minus 135. I think there's value on the team or on the Astros team total as well. But I'm going to just play it safe and just back the Astros to get it done tonight here in Dallas. So.
All right. Moving on to the second last game here. The Guardians plus 102 are in LA facing the Angels minus 120. Shane Bieber against Lorenzen in this one. You're giving me Shane Bieber at plus money.
Yeah.
For the first 5 money line, it's Cleveland plus 100. So you're giving me Bieber at plus 100 in the first 5 innings. I don't really think I need to say much more. I took that Cleveland first 5 money line plus 100. It's Bieber. Yes, the Guardians aren't playing as well as of late. The Angels doing pretty well, I guess. But I'm going to go here with a much better pitcher, I think, in Shane Bieber than Lorenzen. And I think it's a close game after 5. Nick, Guardians, Angels. What do you think here?
Yeah, I'm on the first 5 under 4 in this game at even money. I like what we've seen from Lorenzen a little bit this year, actually. He's not been as bad as we thought. Yeah, the 4.82 ERA is not great, but I look more at WHIP and their Sierra and stuff like that. The WHIP's only 0.86 per the 0.86. He has a 1.93 walks per 9, which is not terrible. 3.05 Sierra, which is respectable. And then Shane Bieber. I don't think we need any explanations for him. For me, I got to the first 5 under, and I do have a player prop. This is the only non-hitter player prop I have today. I have over 6.5 strikeouts. I got it a little juicy around minus 150 with Shane Bieber here. I think that when we look at what this Angels offense has done strikeout-wise, their strikeout percentage is actually really high on this hitting staff. I'm trying to get those numbers up now with that. But they do strike out a lot. We have 28.8% for Shohei, 25% for Ward, Walsh 28%, Rendon 25%, 20 for Marsh, 34 for Stassi, 45 for Adele. So these guys do strike out a lot, and we know that Bieber is a strikeout pitcher, so I'm going to look for over 6.5 strikeouts of him as well.
All right, Tim.
I saw plus. Well, I got it at minus 110, but at this point, plus money for Shane Bieber. I don't know about this line anymore. It kind of scares me because I see a lot of people who love Cleveland, and this line's moving the opposite direction. So I'm still going to stick with it. I still think the Guardians win this game. We saw how the Angels looked this weekend against a bad Baltimore team. Guardians got swept by the Yankees, whatever. I think this is a good bounce back spot, and the Guardians have the best pitcher that they can have, that they could hope for on the mound in Shane Bieber. So I'm going and grabbing the Guardians to get a win tonight against the Angels.
All right. Occupancy, Guardians, Angels.
Yeah, the Guardians are top 5 in the league right now in hits for and hits allowed. So that's kind of interesting. Thinking of if you're going to prejudge them or something, beginning of the season, this is kind of how they're getting out the gate. So I'm going to look to back them, like you guys said. I mean, Bieber seems like the bet on pitcher here. The line has moved a bit. So, they're offering minus 115 right now for that first 5 money line. So not as good of a price, but I think still worth it here to back Bieber.
All right. Bryant, Guardians, Angels.
Yeah, I'm all in on taking Shane Bieber here. He's a California kid that needs to be noted in himself. So this is a homecoming for him. It pays to get these pitchers when they're on these homecomings. They like to show out. They're entertainers regardless of how people view them. And obviously take my comments on Max Scherzer going to St. Louis, Garrett Cole last year when he went back to Cali and he blasted this same Angels team for like 15 strikeouts. Bieber is an ace too, and he's starting to look the part again after being injured much of last year. One thing that I saw that I found very interesting in regards to this game, obviously the Guardians lost 3 straight games to my Yankees, but in this same spot, BetLab's database, it dates back to 2005. The Guardians franchise, obviously, it includes their time as the Indians. They're 5-0-1 for 5 units in the first 5 in this exact spot as underdogs. And to that point, Bieber's 5-0-2 as a road underdog in the F5. Coupled that with the way that they've been hitting, generally speaking, the entire season, excluding obviously this weekend. I think there's just value here. There's a lot more value on the Guardians than there are on the Angels. You've got a heavy strikeout team going up against a heavy strikeout pitcher, and Lorenzen he's not the type of guy that you're willing to back on a favorite line against one of the 10, 15 best pitchers in the MLB. I just don't see it. Because once you get past that first 4 for the Angels, it kind of falls off a cliff. Joe Adele's pretty good. He hit a grand slam this weekend. But generally speaking, if you're going to get this type of value with Shane Bieber, why not just get it for the F5? If nothing else, as long as the game is tied after 5, you get a push. But I expect the Guardians to come out, get some runs early on Lorenzen, and let Bieber be able to throw that slider, that fastball, and get us to this F5 money line cash. So I'll take the plus money on the F5 with Bieber, and let's go Guardians.
I like it. We're on the same side. That sounds good. And we'll move on to the final game of the night here. The Dodgers minus 194. Bueller are in Arizona facing the Diamondbacks plus 162. And it's Kelly, a total of 8.5 in this one. I think Merrill Kelly is probably Arizona's best pitcher. I think maybe that could be.
Yeah, I would agree with that statement.
Yeah. used to be
But
Zach
that's
Gallen.
not really saying a whole lot, unfortunately,
not.
for the Diamondbacks. He is their best pitcher, but he is not comparable to Bueller. Yes, their ERA would be comparable right now, currently. Actually, Kelly's is a bit better, but Bueller is the better pitcher here. I trust him a lot more. I trust this lineup 10 times more than the Diamondbacks. The Dodgers minus 194. I'm not taking their run line, which is minus 115. I do have their money line in two different parlays, so I'll give them out both now. Toronto money line and the Dodgers money line plus 168. Mets money line, Dodgers money line plus 151. So those are my two money line parlays. So go Blue Jays, Dodgers, and Mets, and I'll be a happy guy. Nick, Dodgers and Diamondbacks. Are you going right back to the Dodgers here?
Yeah, they hit for me again yesterday, and let me get up these numbers real quick. If you would back the Dodgers run line every single game, you're actually, I believe they're the most profitable. Yeah, they're the most profitable run line team this year. They are 11-4 against the run line, and they're up 6.80 units scoring to covers. Second is the Mets, who are 11-6, up 6.35. And I'm going to look to continue to back this until it slows down, and it's not slowing down yet. I know Dodgers run line may sound like the squarest play in any baseball slate, and everybody bets it, but everybody's making money with it right now. And if I'm going to continue making money with the Dodgers run line, why stop now? This is just a Dodgers team that should overpower the Diamondbacks. Their lineup is just a much better team, or overall the lineup is just all-star after all-star. I still make the case that your lineup is the best in baseball when a former MVP is hitting 6th or 7th with Cody Bellinger. So I got the Dodgers run line. And then also, of course, I had to get props involved in this game. All these guys over 1.5 total bases: Freddie Freeman, Trey Turner, Cody Bellinger. So I got those three guys. They've been hitting really well lately or this season. So that's where I'm going with that game.
All right. Tim, Dodgers and Diamondbacks.
Yeah, I'm kind of running a philosophy this year, or I'm trying something out. And I want to see if you fade the Dodgers every single game versus the Diamondbacks, will it be profitable? I'm not betting these. I just want to test it, because last year you would have been profitable if you bet the Diamondbacks every game versus the Dodgers. And it could happen again this year, because especially later on in the year when the Dodgers are sitting at minus 300, betting the Diamondbacks will be something that's on my card for that entire series. Because if I can get the Diamondbacks at plus 200 to 250 every single day, they win one game and I'm profitable for that series. So I kind of feel like I know the Dodgers all-star lineup, all that good jazz, good for them. I'm just going to try to fade them against like the Diamondbacks, the Rockies, the bad teams, because I feel like if I fade them against certain teams like that, I feel like it could be profitable. So it would be a lean towards the Diamondbacks for me, but that's just because I'm testing out my theory.
All right. Occupancy, Dodgers and Diamondbacks.
Yeah, the stats are what they are in this game. You know, one team's at the top, one team's at the bottom. I'm not going to dig too deep into that, but just from a angle perspective on, the Dodgers play. I think that was an emotional series to take two against San Diego away. Personally, I think they're kind of feeling a little fat and happy. Personally, they go to Arizona, maybe not as focused. And Arizona, yeah, I mean they did okay. They've been doing a little bit better last week than previously. But Tim made the point where the value just isn't quite there yet. Like I'm getting plus 156 to back them, and it's just if you see like we could be getting 200s a little later in the year. I think that's got to be a little bit of a pump the brakes before I start trying to fade this Dodgers team. But honestly, it might be worth like a quarter unit type thing if you do it like that, and maybe even get the Diamondbacks in a parlay or something, but not full unit like major picks, but just get a little piece, because I'm not going to back the Dodgers here. I'm just not going to do it. I think they are what they are, but I just think there was an emotional series win for San Diego, and just I don't know if they're fully focused here tonight. We'll see.
One thing I will say is if you guys do like the Diamondbacks and you do want to have an angle on the Diamondbacks, take them in the first 5 innings. I think they do maybe have a slight pitching advantage the way Merrill Kelly's pitching compared to Walker Buehler. But when it comes to that bullpen, the Dodgers are the best in baseball right now, and the Diamondbacks towards the bottom. So if you guys do like the Diamondbacks in any way, shape, or form, it's first 5. It's not full game.
All right. Bryant, Dodgers Diamondbacks, final game of the night. What do you think?
Yeah, as I mentioned, I have a parlay with the Dodgers with a money line parlay. So I've got them. I'm picking the Dodgers there, but I'm also gonna take them on the run line. Like Nick said, man, the Dodgers, they've just been horses on the run line all season. And whenever you can milk something for money, you gotta milk it. And this isn't a place that I really feel comfortable saying, all right, I'm gonna sell on them for this point in time. It's the Diamondbacks. I'll live with the results for tonight. Merrill Kelly is definitely their best pitcher right now. But I think Buehler also has some motivation to come out and perform a little bit better than he had been. That's kind of where I'm drawing the strength on the run line. I think Buehler comes out and absolutely he hurls a gem because he hasn't performed up to his standards. I mean, none of his starts have been like sexy at all. Kind of like Garrett Cole had yesterday. You just got to show that you can still go out there and toss 7 innings and not give up any runs or give up 1 run and eliminate, keep it below 4 hits. He needs one of those, and I'm kind of leaning towards him getting that tonight against a very disjointed Arizona lineup. But I would agree with what Tim said. If you're gonna fade the Dodgers, you better do it first 5 because the bullpens are just acceptable to give up runs. That was kind of why the Diamondbacks didn't do anything recently. Not recently, where it was against the Nationals. The Nationals series is where it all just went to crap every time they went to the bullpen. They were in those games for the first 4 or 5 innings, and then it just all went to crap. And that's saying something because the Nationals really don't have a lineup outside of Soto, Josh Bell, and Nelson Cruz. So, yeah, give me the Dodgers tonight on the run line. I think you can parlay it with pretty much any other pick that you feel comfortable with on the money line. But I'm gonna go heavy on that on the Dodgers run line, and let's get it done. Freddie Freeman's performing like an MVP candidate again. He's batting like well over 320. They're just hitting again, man. They touched up Sean Manaea like he was a AAA pitcher yesterday. So let's do it.
All right. And then we will do the last pitch segment, even though we did go over every game. I'll just go a brief run through what I'm on. Giants plus 1.5. Giants money line. Jays money line. Mets, Cardinals, first 5 under 3.5. Guardians, first 5 money line. Blue Jays, Dodgers money line parlay. Mets, Dodgers money line parlay. And then in basketball, I took the Raptors plus 16.5 at an alternate spread, parlayed with Dallas Mavericks money line for plus 104. So that's everything I'm on for today. I might get to some hit parlays, player hit parlays after the show. And if you want to check those out, the link to the spreadsheet is in the description of this video. Nick, last pitch. What do you have for us?
We went over all of our baseball stuff, so I'll touch on the other 2 plays I have not related to the Diamond. I did take the Celtics to sweep the Nets tonight to complete that sweep, and then I went with the Stanley Cup preview for tonight between the Flyers and the Blackhawks. I got under 6.5.
Are we back in 2011?
Yeah, right. Yeah,
because they did face each other in 2011.
That's crazy how they played each other 11 years ago, and then now they're like bottom of the league.
And now the show's getting canceled because I don't want to talk about them. Tim, last pitch.
Yeah, we went over all the baseball stuff. So some stuff on the hardwood in the association, taking the Mavericks, and we're taking the Celtics to finish off a sweep. I stayed far away from that Raptors game. Just not something I was interested in going after.
All right, occupancy.
Yeah, a couple things here. And if anyone knows where to get this data for free, let me know, because I'm on Baseball Reference's premium on StatHead, and that's where they show you the historical batting for hitters against the pitchers over their careers and stuff. So if someone knows where to get that for free, that's fine. But it'll take me a long time to list out each one. But now, honestly, like reviewing this Dodgers thing, I mean, Muncy, Turner, Smith, Bellinger all hit really well against Kelly. They're like at the top there. So take that how you will. But I was looking honestly at Segura on Philly. He bats 333 against Freeland. Bichette bats 333 against Evaldi. So I just that's one thing that I do keep open when I'm looking at these hitter props and stuff. See how they've done against these pitchers over the career.
All right. I know ESPN does show some of them, but I don't think they show it for every single game. But I do know they show some of those stats. Bryant, last pitch. Anything you want to say? You're muted.
Sorry. Outside of the stuff that I'd already mentioned, I'm going to be a degenerate tonight. I'm just kind of feeling just like, it's whatever. I am going to back the Blackhawks in the Stanley Cup preview tonight. I really have no real money on the game. I'm just doing it just so I can have something to watch. So I'll be going with the Blackhawks. I think DeBrincat, Kane, Toes, they'll find a way to get it done. So that's one play there. I absolutely do not advocate for you to back me on this. Please do not tell me on that. I'm just doing it for craps and giggles. Outside of that, in the association, I'm going to go take the Celtics to get rid of the Nets. There's so much bad energy going on with the Nets. There's nothing that is inspiring me to believe that they are going to figure out a way to at least make this series competitive or get it back to Boston even. So give me the Celtics. Shout out to my boy Jason Tatum. Him and Jaylen Brown are just different right now, man. They're just hooping. And I think that even with a Kyrie KD explosion, it won't mean much because I just don't think the supporting cast is good enough. And that's kind of been the difference in the series. The games have all been close, but when it got down to the crunch time, they don't play defense. And that's kind of been it. And the Celtics do. And Steve Nash is not as good of a coach as Udoka of the Celtics, point blank period. So give me that. Luka is going to have American Airlines Center rocking. I can hear it about 15 minutes away from my apartment. I got the Mavs tonight as well there. I just think that they're destined to go ahead and get rid of the Jazz, and that begins tonight. So got the Mavs, Celtics, and a little NBA parlay. I mixed it up and went ahead and threw the Giants F5 in there for some serious plus money. And so that's kind of where I'm at in terms of outside picks that we hadn't talked about.
Awesome. And we'll jump into best bets. I'll start by bringing up the current standings here. I moved past you, Bryant, just barely by 0.02.
Shregged.
So I'm not getting my party out here and celebrating quite yet. But there is the current standings. And we'll move on to everything here, starting with a dog of the day here. For me, I'm going San Francisco. Nick, you went with Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Tim, you went with Cleveland.
Yep.
And Nathan did not choose one.
No.
Occupancy, is there a dog that you like today?
San Francisco, please.
I like it. Bryant? You're muted again. Yeah.
I keep forgetting I'm putting my mute on so my dogs
no worries.
aren't in the background echoing. I'm gonna be that guy, and I'm gonna go against the grain, and I'm gonna take the Rockies. I just don't like the energy with the Phillies right now, man. They had a chance yesterday, and they sold bad. So yeah, give me the Rockies.
All right, perfect. Over or under. The only total I have a total, and it's the Mets St. Louis first 5 under 3.5. Yes, I'll probably be sweating it out, but that's sports betting. Nick and Tim, you both chose the same. You went Colorado, Philadelphia over 8.5.
Yep.
And Nathan went Cleveland, LA Angels over 8.
Oh, interesting.
Bryant, is there a total that you like today?
Yes. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Astros Rangers over 8.5.
Houston/Texas 1. Houston/Texas over 8.5.
Yeah.
All right. Occupancy?
Can I get a Colorado and Philly over 8.5, please?
Good
Three.
pick.
I feel like I'm like a game show host when you say it like that. Yeah.
Good pick. All right.
Yeah.
Well, and best bets, best parlay pieces here. I'll take it off so that we can see everybody. For me, best bet. Hey, you all knew it. I'm going Toronto money line. Barrios will get it done for me. Best parlay piece. I was going to go Guerrero Jr. over half a hit, but I'm actually going to listen to occupancy here and switch it to Bichette. Just after hearing those numbers against Eovaldi, I will take Bichette instead. Nick, you went with Dodgers run line as your best bet. Dodgers money line as your parlay piece. Tim is a little surprised at that, but Nathan went the same. He took Dodgers run line, Dodgers money line as his parlay piece, and I see you got it for 115, so he will as well.
Yeah, I just looked it up now to see if I could find a better price.
Tim, you went with Cleveland money line plus 102, and and Mets plus 1.5 as your parlay piece. Occupancy, what do you have here for best bet?
Yeah. Sorry to make you type. I'm going to go with Estrada on the Giants over half a hit. That minus 136.
I might be spelling his name. Estrada, over half a hit.
Yeah.
A hit prop. That's nice to get.
I got on that nice Blue Jays win over the weekend. I accidentally, just not great. I put team total over 4, and they had 3 in the win. So I gotta get back up in the best bet with you guys. Don't need to be going too deep into the red here. So I think that hopefully hits tonight. And then for parlay piece,
what was the price of that, sorry?
Oh, minus 136. I'm sorry.
No worries. Parlay piece.
Yeah. I'll take a stab at Cleveland in the first 5 on the money line.
Okay, well, you can probably take them plus 0.5 since they're the underdogs.
Mm-hmm.
Go with that for parlay piece.
Yeah.
No, if you want to take the money line, you can, but I would say take the plus 0.5. But that's my advice.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Bryant, parlay piece?
Yeah, my parlay piece, I'm going to go with the Mets team total over 2.5. There's just no reason why I can't see a world where they don't get 3 runs here in 9 innings against Mikolas and the Cardinals bullpen. It's solid. It's not upper echelon good, but I like this Mets lineup the way it's constructed. They'll have a lot of interchangeable pieces, and guys can mix and match, which is pretty much what I said. So that lefties and they got switch hitters and stuff like that. So give me them to get 3 runs tonight. And then my best bet, I am hopping back on the Dodgers train. Let's get that Dodgers run line. and I got it at minus 115 as well. So
Perfect.
a lot of us will be sweating that late night game.
Yeah, hey, go Dodgers.
Yeah.
Help out everybody and the show. So that is it. That is the show. Best of luck to everybody tonight. As I said, no NHL show today, but we'll be back tomorrow for the big slate. We'll also be back for another episode of Getting Wild with Friends Baseball Edition tomorrow afternoon as well, regular time. Best of luck to everybody tonight, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Have a good one, guys.